Hi, good morning. My name is Kike, your host today on the podcast White Reflections by Hadufe. White Reflections by Hadufe is a podcast that delves into the complexities of life and modern day living. As you all know, what we do on White Reflections is we try to bring people with real life experiences to come share the experience. Perhaps somebody going through something similar can benefit from it. Today, we shall be discussing generational perceptions of marriage, the different perceptions generations have about marriage. I mean, the older generation and the younger generation. Joining me on the show today is Dr. Mrs. Kumbi Ojo.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma. And amen. God bless you too, ma. Thank you so much, ma. And Mrs. Tosin Togo. Good morning, ma. Of course, she's a regular, you all know her, and I'm always bringing her back. Okay, so together we shall be exploring all the angles to different perceptions different generations have, about marriage. I mean, the stark contrast between the older generation's view of marriage and, the younger generation's view of marriage. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this interview. Good morning once again, Mrs. Kumbi.
Thank you very much.
Dr. Mrs. Kumbi, thanks for coming, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank God.
So, this age-long institution has been plagued by many, so many opinions, and perceptions as well. And I know for a fact that the older generation is still so solid when it comes to marriage. They believe so much in marriage. I mean, there's really nothing you can achieve if you're not married. Your parents, would always be on your neck to say, oh, when are you bringing your husband home? When are you bringing your partner home? Why is that, Dr. Mrs. Kumbi?
Thank you very much, my sister. I say good morning to our viewers at home. I want to start from the angle of defining what marriage is.
Okay, thank you.
Marriage is the union between a man and a woman of different home backgrounds. People coming together out of the love being expressed by the man to the woman, telling her that I want to share my lifetime with you. Before the decision could be made, the man must have seen some signs in the woman that the woman has some factors which has endeared into the woman. And eventually, the love is shown, the love is expressed, and same communicated to the parents that I have seen somebody that I want to spend the rest of my life with. And the journey begins. The marriage is solemnized, and they keep hoping that it will be well. That the marriage will not be endured, but it will be enjoyed. And that is not the case with some, all the men or all the ladies out there. Because, what has been happening in nowadays marriages is about, cases of divorce. Little thing, they have decided to cut it off. And the aftermath is what we are seeing in the society today. You see children of single parents, which at the end of the day is causing problem in the society and in the nation at large. So why is it that our ladies are not really interested in getting settled? Let's go back to the roots. What about the parents being role model to the children that they are raising? Every day is problem. Every day is chaos. They don't see the father of the home and the mother being closely knitted, and which could have been a source of motivation for them that one day I will enter into matrimony. Yes, you are well read. Yes, you have bagged this degree and that degree. And one day you have to end up been under the umbrella of a man. But here is the home that is not encouraging, that is not telling them that one day I will have it cool with the man of my own heart. So we should dwell into the parental background, because the parents, they are not really showing the way to their younger ones that one day when you enter into matrimony, you are going to have it cool. You are going to the home where you continue your life with the bond of your bond with your friend, your eternal friend, because marriage is about an eternal journey. It's about a lifelong journey, a journey that you take the certificates when you are starting it. Unlike other institutions, you take your certificate right from the day you are joined together, and you start to open the pages on daily basis, and whatever you find there, you continue to manage it, whether good, whether bad. And when we started our own journey, you called us older generation. You know, from what we experienced from our parents, you decide that whatever be the case, you will never separate. No matter what. Thank God for our parents. They have equipped us. We were well read. We have our jobs. So if the husband says no today, we know that tomorrow he will say yes. But these days we see our ladies. They are career women. They are even better read than their spouses. And they will be saying that, what can you do that I cannot do it better? So at the slightest and at the peak of the provocation like this, they are ready to call it quits. And that is what is happening in the society nowadays. But during our own time, we have decided that come rain, come shine, we are not living.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mrs. Kumbi. Thank you so much. I mean, Mrs. Togun, I'm going to come back to you. You know, Mrs. Kumbi has said something, you know, very important that I want to hold on to. Marriages are breaking these days, you know, and she mentioned earlier that at the, you know, slightest provocation, a number of women are ready to call it quits. Perhaps because, you know, they are well read, they are successful, they have a thriving career. What's your take on that? Do you think that's the reason why we have, you know, high rates of divorce? Do you think, you know, the younger generation are not as patient and not as, you know, submissive and, you know, humble as they ought to be? Or some of them were just pressurized into getting married without knowing, you know, the, implication of marriage and what marriage entails in the real sense of it. Can you shed more light on that?
Okay, thank you again for having me on the show.
Always.
And of course, I want to say a big thanks to Dr. Kumi, because she has already, you know, prepared the ground. So, well, for me, I truly believe that marriage is not an achievement. You know, it's fine. God wants us to really have it cool in marriage, and also, you know, be married so that we could actually fulfill the purpose of procreation and companionship, you know. But beyond that, when we see marriage as achievements, you know, there is a way we are being positioned that it's set us up for divorce even from the onset. So I would believe that younger generations are walking out of marriage or their marriages for many reasons. It's not just about the fact that these ladies are more well read, you know, than their spouses. It is reason far beyond, you know. Of course, many people enter into marriages for many reasons, and of course, a number of persons could, you know, be pompous about their achievements, probably careerly or academically. But beyond that, there are some fundamental issues that I believe are the reasons, you know, marriages are breaking up today. And some of these, I will say that many younger generation are not well schooled as to what marriage really is. A number of times, many of us are being pressured into marriage. Our parents
Pressured into marriage by who?
yes, by our
Our
parents,
parents.
by our mamas.
Hmm.
You know, they want us to like get married because they see it as an achievement. You know, they see it as status that will bring honor to them. They want to be grandpas on time. They want to be grandmas on time. Our parents had attended so many weddings of friends' children, and they also want the same to happen to them. They see it as an investment. I've invested into friends' occasion, and I should also have a joy, you know, a day to be celebrated. And before you know it, they start loading marriage on us. They want us to like get a quick fix and go into marriage because they feel that, oh, you know, they want to be repaid or something. And before you know it, they come with so many angles. Like for instance, they come with the fact that, oh, you are done with school. A number of us finished school on time. Some of us 21, we are already out of school, you know, and some of us like 24, we already bagged our masters and all. And so they feel like, oh, you've done so many things, you've achieved a lot, you know, now the next thing like is marriage.
Is
like
marriage.
they have it planned for you, you know, after your
Thank you so much, Mrs. Tobin. But very quickly, I want to cut you short there. Mrs. Kumbi, do you think marriage is an achievement?
But I was going to get to somewhere.
Oh, okay. Okay. Because I just wanted her to answer that question first.
Okay, it's fine.
Quickly, I want to say that to us is an achievement.
Okay. Thank you, ma.
It's an achievement.
So thank you,
No matter
ma.
what you have read, no matter the degree, you must end up in somebody's, you know, home. And that is the shield, that's the umbrella. He's a man, and that will give you the needed respect in the society, without which they will look down on you. That's the ultimate.
What's your take on that, Mrs. Tosin Tobi? What's your take?
Hey, mommy. I don't know if mommy will still pass me at the end of this section.
I mean, in your line of profession, I'm sure you've met a lot of people who, you know, have been pressurized into marriage. And I do applaud you for speaking up, you know, ma, because I mean that's the generation they come from, and that is what any parent would say to you. I mean, no matter what you've accomplished or you've achieved in terms of your career and everything, you must still end up under a man's roof. At Deori, I mean, that's what they would say to you.
Your crown.
That's your crown. Okay. So, what's your take on that?
Well, as so much as I agree with mom, I mean Dr. Kumbi, and I share her opinion. But more importantly, I also still, you know, have some reservation because of the fact that, you know, my line of profession as a counseling psychologist has actually made me to actually, you know, have a rethink about the fact that young people have to like get married at probably a certain age, because age is not is part of maturity, but is not maturity. You know, a number of times young people who are going into marriage are not matured, you know, to take up the responsibility. I'm coming from the perspective that says that marriage is not an achievement, is a responsibility. And when we believe that marriage is a responsibility is not to be conferred on people. People grow into responsibility, you know, and when we pressure responsibility on people, irrespective of their age, we discover that they are unable to measure up to that standard. Sometimes, you know, it starts from when you want a child, you know, who is 8 year or 9 year to be in JSS1 by fire by force. And that's the generation we've come into. Our parents just want to prove a point, you know, with our life. They want to just prove a point. You know, they want to like prove a point to their parents that we can do better than their children. You know, there's this kind of competition in the air, and we are the one who is suffering this competition. And before you know it, we are not actually ready for the status they want us to assume. We are not prepared. We are not, because all these status are responsibility. They comes with, responsibility. It is not just about occupying that state. It is about being able to deliver as expected. And I believe that young people today, if you look into the society today, a number of things are happening. Okay, I don't want to go outside this particular discussion, so let me just pick some few examples, around here. All right, around our conversation. Now, coming to look at it, have to attend to, many couples. I won't lie to you, many couples who are pressured into marriage and they are not doing well. Both male
by their parents
and female. Okay, now there was one, and of course, a number of things pressure people into marriage, not just our parents, but of course, their impact are so much, that are so high on us. There are voices that we don't want to say no to. So we want to do everything to
satisfy them,
to answer to their call. But apart from that, there are also other things that are pressuring us into marriage. For instance, it could be our own personal achievement. Okay, I'm done with school now. I think marriage is next. Okay, then sometimes it could be like our friends, our peers. A number of them are married at 23, 25, and we are already 26. We want to get married. It's coming to a point now where the society is thinking that you are cursed when you are 30 years old and you are not married.
You're not married.
So everybody has that. Everybody has that benchmark to actually meet up with. I don't want to marry beyond. I don't want to marry after 30. When it is 30, there is a way it just sounds. So I want to before I'm 30, I want to be settled as a woman. And
so the pressure keeps coming. After a certain age. I understand that. Dr. Mrs. Kumbi, I'd like to ask you, what age would you recommend that a child gets married? A female child and a male child.
Thank you very much, my sister. In fact, when she made mention of, the fact that there's a particular age when
the society expects.
I don't know if a lady or the guy should get married. I was about asking her that what is the age? The fact remains that once you have been able to finish your probably first degree, second degree, and you finish early enough with the help of God, you're able to get a job, you are gainfully employed. What next? So I don't believe in a particular age that until you are 30, until you are 28, that you can get settled down. As a lady, at a time in your life, you flower. You become radiating to men all around. Everybody will want to have you. Everybody will want you to be their girlfriend, to be their fiancé, and eventually settle down, with you. By the time you get to a 30, 31, 32, the shining faces will become somehow old than when you were in the age bracket of 26 to 28, which I think is ideal. What will be your excuse? You've bagged the first degree, the second degree, you've got a job, you are well paid there. What is the next thing? Yes, she made mention of responsibilities in marriage. I want you to understand the fact that marriage is in phases. When you get married, you be everything to the man. You start, bearing children. The attention will start to shift gradually from the man to the children, the first, the second, the third. That's another phase. Another phase, there is no one that will not pass through the stage, because the man will feel that, why now? Why am I even in this marriage? May God not allow that to be our portion. But when it comes, one should be able to summon the challenges. Once you are well read, you have your job, I said it ab initio, that whatever, we have made up our mind. And when that stage comes, you say, okay, this stage will soon pass.
So you endure.
I don't want to use that word, endure,
Okay.
because it could be scary to them.
Hmm.
You manage.
Hmm.
You manage that phase. And you wait for another phase that will be so soothing. And it will get to the time when the man will be saying that, Mommy, shall I help you to carry your bag? It's because you have managed him in the past. So I want to emphatically say that even if you decide to marry late, there is no way that, if you marry early or late, you still carry the burden. You carry the responsibility. So why not make hay while the sun shines? And you start early. When you start early, you reap it in future. When your colleagues who marry late are still struggling with sponsoring their children to school, you're already settled, they've started graduating, and you won't be looking...
so that's the achievement part for
it's
you.
It's an achievement.
Yes, okay.
It's an achievement. Once you're done with your school, let me see your man. Let's do the O&B of a thing.
Okay, thank you very much, Ma. I'd like to quickly touch on the aspect that you mentioned earlier. You talked about respect. If you're married, there's some form of respect that is attached to the fact that you're married. And I want to say emphatically that is true in our society. There's a level of respect that is placed on a married woman as opposed to a woman that is not married. I mean, the last elections, there was a certain individual that came out. She was, in the race she was contesting, and I remember one of the things that, was used against her was the fact that she wasn't married, she wasn't, under a man, which of course, I mean, I would have said, why not look at this person's character and, look at what she can do in terms of, service to humanity as opposed to marriage. But I mean, those were some of the things that were thrown at her, And I'm saying this because even in the society, we've seen cases of, landlords and all of that saying, I cannot give my to a woman who is not married, because they perceive her as not being responsible. So marriage and respect, there's some form of, what's it called? Interrelationship going on there. Okay. So what's your take? Marriage and respect.
Well, I actually believe that, okay, fine, marriage brings you a form of respect. And not just to the woman, but also to the men. For instance, my husband had to work with a particular older woman who insists on seeing the wife before giving him that job. And she insisted, and until she saw me, and she, women, I mean, our mothers are so wonderful. There's a way she got to know that I'm happy in that marriage before she was convinced enough to give my husband that job.
I mean, that's our own line of reasoning. Not everybody would do that anyways. Yes. Okay.
But to me, so that's confirmed the fact that, people actually respect you and put the due honor on you when you are married. In fact, marriage brings honor, and it's even biblical. God said it also, that marriage is honorable when you put certain things in place. So marriage is to confer honor on you. But my own, the point I'm coming from is the point of people, really getting ready. Parents really preparing their children for this phase. It shouldn't be that, okay, you are done with school and what is next is marriage. But I believe that it's important that people are actually given the privilege to really grow, because age is not the same thing as marital maturity. And age achievements, as it were, are not probably academic achievements or career achievements, are not the same as marital maturity. So if parents want their children to marry on time, then there is a need to start preparing them for that stage as early as the age of 15. If you want a child to get married at the age of 23, then you have to start early mentoring that child for marriage. And how do I mean? Because we have a lot of ladies, a lot of men who are not actually prepared for marriage. They take up marriage responsibility because they just feel, oh, I'm done with everything. What is next? Marriage. And they were never prepared. And so, like doctor said, at any slight of provocation, no, they are out of it because they were never ready in their mind, psychologically, spiritually, physically. They were never ready mentally. Okay, so I would recommend that premarital counseling should start as early as possible. It shouldn't be that at the age of we have like 6 months to our wedding and that's how I'm doing premarital counseling. Parents should start premarital counseling as soon as their children is age 15. And how do you do that? You start by also telling that child, marriage is a responsibility. Love is not feelings. Love is not emotion. Love is commitment. So a teenager won't come home and tell you that I'm crushing, I'm falling in love, because he or she has misunderstood what love truly is. Love is not emotion. It's not feeling. Yes, it comes with that. I'm tossing to over. I have feelings. I have emotion. But that is not me. That is not me. Okay, so marriage also, love is also a personality. It has feelings, it has emotion, but it is not feelings or emotions. So when we make our children to understand this, then when they are age 21, age 20, and they want to go into marriage, oh, fine. They can. But where I have problem is when people said, oh, you are 28 now, and where is the man? Where is the woman? And starts, I'm not ready. And I don't, I also do not believe that society should judge, people based on their marital status. I do not believe, because the difference are, all of us matured not at the same time. Children don't mature at the same age, even though they are, they have the capacity. But a number of things happen in people's life that don't make them ready for a particular phase of their life. And when people rush into the phase they are not ready for, they don't handle that phase well. They don't handle it well, because in psychology we believe that any phase that a child misses, or whatever it is that a child do not enjoy, whatever denial that a child experience, while growing up, do not actually go away. It's there, and eventually it comes up as maladjustment behavior in the future. For instance, there are times that I have experience to share. Like, for instance, there was a particular guy who met a lady. They both fell in love, and they were okay. They were age 23. They are the same age, and they were fine. And eventually, along the line, the lady got pregnant. And when she got pregnant, the parents were like, oh, then you guys have to go in for marriage. And they did all of that. But why settling down in the marriage, the man discovered that, he wasn't ready for the marriage. He didn't even know that was his problem at first. He just discovered that he wasn't doing enough. The lady was frustrated. He also was frustrated. And all of these were just coming, and, they couldn't just meet up with what they believe they couldn't just meet up with what they believe commitment is. So they have to land at our clinic. And when they landed and we diagnosed that case, we discovered that, the problem is just that, the two of them are not psychologically prepared for that phase. They were pressured into that phase because of pregnancy. People should know that they shouldn't marry for wrong reasons. Many times we marry for wrong reasons. Oh, I'm done. She's pregnant.
I understand. I understand the fact that you have to grow, like you said, you grow into that responsibility. But I've also seen kids who would say that they are not they are never going to get married. They don't want kids. They don't want marriage. Especially the younger generation. Do you think that's selfish?
Well, it's all about what is happening in nowadays marriages, whereby the younger generations are not seeing anything so special about marriage, about being under the roof of anybody, because they see it as a burden. This is somebody that has virtually many things more than the spouse or the would-be husband, and you are now asking him to subject himself to the whims and caprices of the man. It takes the grace of God to allow the man to rule over him. You know, the nature of man naturally is domineering. And the lady, if not well brought up, if not spiritually all right, if not emotionally and mentally balanced, will feel that, what's the need for me to go and subject myself to this unnecessary burden? And that is why we have many single mothers out there. They'll prefer to just befriend somebody and they raise children, one or two, and they're okay. Financially, they have a financial capability to raise the children. Okay, we think about being under the umbrella of somebody. What concerns them with that? Yes. Probably because of the political interest of that person that she was deprived of being considered for a post. At work, she's highly placed. She has so many things. If she needs a man, not really the man of the house, they need to go out together. That is at a bear and call. Why should I live with a man that will give me a regulated life?
But your generation believes that umbrella is very important.
Any woman that is not under the umbrella of a man is seen as a failure. Is seen as a failure and will not be respected in the society. She has given a typical example now. That the woman was deprived of that opportunity of having that position politically. What could you have read? What position will you occupy wherever as a careerist that will make you feel that you should not marry, that you should not be under the control of somebody? Marriage entails humility, patience, commitment, ability to communicate well without any hindrance. If you're egocentric, there's no way you can make it. Everybody is full of ego, but once you get married, you have to subject everything to the man of the house. She made mention of the fact that there must be a period of counseling before we're getting ready for marriage. In fact, in our church, I used to query some areas whereby the couple to be will appear before the vicar for like a month to their wedding for counseling. And I used to raise it in course of our Mothers Union meeting that this is not enough for them to sustain their homes. All borders on the fact that what type of mother are you? What type of father are you? It starts right from cradle. Because they keep emulating what you are doing. I cannot imagine my daughter saying that when she gets married, she will quit. Quit for... Does it mean that when I'm still under your father's house, you ever saw me packing my things for my father's house, all in the name of having a quarrel? We have a way of settling quarrels. She has learned that. The way I communicate with the dad, she has started learning that right from the cradle. The way we communicate together, we do things together, we go out together.
So if anything happens, she has to stay there and manage it.
And understand that it's a phase. Even if she marries late, at 30, 35, she will still meet the burden there is normal. Because you are coming from different homes. And you have to start to understand yourselves. Gradually.
What if it's a phase that is very difficult to bear?
There is no face that is not difficult, that is too difficult to bear.
Okay.
There is no face. It's about determination. It is about determination that this man, I'm there for you, and I will be there till death do us part. When my mother was passing out of this world, she held my father's hand like this, and she gave up the ghost. To show the level of their intimacy. In the area where they lived, they used to call them youngest couple in the area. It wasn't that my mother did not pass through some turbulent stages, she was able to weather the storm. So to now point to the fact that they must be taught how to get ready for marriage, they must be given enough time to prepare for marriage. You know, women has limited time for procreation. Time must not be wasted. Time must not be wasted. If for men, they may choose to marry at 35. They may choose to marry at 40. But for women, care must be taken. Once you are done, just be prayerful. Spiritually, your parents, they have been bringing you up spiritually. When you are getting to that age of maturity for marriage, that will be another prayer point for you. God, choose the bone of a bone for her. Let the right man come our way. If the right man, there won't be any cause for regret. That right man will be the bone of his bone. He will be his friend, our friend forever. And there won't be any cause for regret at all. You just feel that, are they from the same home? If you look at them, they are looking alike. Things like that. Because they are friends. They are closely knitted. So there is no particular, once you are done, you have 1 or 2 salaries, whatever, for like 1 or 2 years. Go and settle down, start your life afresh.
1 or 2 salaries, you just...
I mean for a year or
for
2
a year
years.
Or 2 years.
Go and settle down and start your life.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much. So we're about rounding up very quickly now. Dr. Mrs. She has said it, you know, but what's your giveaway?
Yes.
What are we taking home? What are we taking home?
Okay, that's good. I actually remember my first quarrel with my husband when we first got married. And I called my brother. I said, oh, brother me, tepali, imagine what it for me. And he said, yeah, sorry about that. You know what? Finish that fight on time so that you can fight another one. So go and settle it on time so that you fight another one. Of course, so I know that marriage comes with a lot of turbulent season. But I want to employ, that we are prepared for this phase. Doctor has said a lot, but the truth is, when we are not prepared, we won't be able to have the tenacity to go through those periods. So it's very, very important that as a mother, start modeling. Doctor said something very important. She said, right now, she has started modeling, from even when a child were very, very young. So you don't expect those children to fail in marriage. So it's very, very important that parents are deliberate about their living together so that we don't get it wrongly. Where you stand up, you fight, you do a number of things in our presence, you tell us even to our face. There are times that mother even tell their children, see, come over. Daddy is not responsible. So what do you want us to do in marriage? You are already telling us we can do better than you are. So it's very, very important. As much as our parents want to put prayer of marriage on us, it's very, very important that they balance it up by showing us what marriage entails, not just with their words, but in their character, in the way they live with one another. So that when that phase comes, naturally, we can really joyfully walk into it. Just as we joyfully go to pick up our second degree form, that we can joyfully go into that phase. And I also want to encourage the religious leader to actually give time to premarital counseling. Let's really give time to ensure that younger people are really mentored, prepared well for marriage. So that when we get there, because all the magazines we are reading, the films we are reading, shows us that marriage is a bed of roses. And when we get there, we start looking for move all around, and nobody tell us that, there are seasons of turbulence and all of this. And so we think that this man is like, is a wrong choice, is a wrong bridge. There's someone better outside. If I picked somebody else, it could have been better. She said that all those things are there. All those faces are there. Nobody will escape it. But we were not told. We're not told. So when this turbulent period comes up, we have the nurture of, this is the wrong choice. The man is thinking, it's because I married this particular brand. If it has been another brand, it will not be like this. So please, our parents, show us the way right from when we are very young. The society, model it to us. Let's see what you are talking about when you mention marriage. Our spiritual edge, show it to us. Let us see what you're talking about. Mentor us well. Don't be quick to join us together. Then before you know it, we do well in marriage.
Don't be quick to join us together.
Yes,
Okay. Thank you so much. Dr. Mrs. Fumbi, what are you giving us to take
Okay,
home?
as my parting words, I just want to enjoin parents to ensure that they are good role models to their children, and they should catch them young. It is not after they have come home with certificates that they start to disturb them with, where is the man, where is this, where is that, and they start to talk about being in matrimony. By then they will have become dried fish. They will have been influenced negatively outside. Maybe they have a sister out there telling them that what's the essence of being under anybody's roof. But since their primary school days, they have started seeing you and daddy, mingling together, no quarrel. Even if there is any rift in the home, you have an amicable way of settling it. So it's a gradual thing. So by the time they are in the university, before you graduate, I want to say the man in a lighter mood, not in such a stringent manner that will piss them off. Let me see that guy. Let me see him. And make sure that you are a friend to your children, so that they'll be able to disclose
and discuss
the matters with you. They will see you as their friends, and they will not go out there to pick up wrong information. They will not go out there to pick up wrong information. And as it affects our religious fathers, they should have a way to assist the home front in raising those children, in telling them that there is need for them to procreate. They should not join the bandwagons out there, seeing marriages as something not worthwhile. It's scriptural that we should procreate. If you fail to marry, how will you fulfill that ordinance of God? You must not join them, all in the name of marriages are not working these days. Your own will be much better even than with your parents. Because if you are not married, you will not be seen as somebody that is responsible, and there won't be any respect for you. We are in marriage, and that is why we were able to give back to you and your siblings. And when you enter into it, your own will even be better. And your friends will be the one that will come for you in marriage. And you continue to live together in harmony and in peace forever and until death do you apart.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you so much. Thanks for coming on the show. Thank you, our viewers. I hope we've been able to explore all the angles. You have heard it. I mean, there's still that stark contrast between the older generation and the younger generation. But in all, love to say that For me personally, I feel marriage is a responsibility that you have to also grow into. And I pray and I hope that by the time, anyone is ready to go into it, God Almighty will give you the strength and all the help that you need to, make it last and make it worthwhile. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. Till we meet next time. Bye for now.
Bye.